control. Breach in 5, 4, 3.
What's up, y'all? I'm Uncle Freedom, coming to you on another glorious and well-deserved day off, and today we're going to look at volume number 2 of some uncomfortable truths about get-home bags. Yeah. If you haven't checked out the first volume in this series, I'll leave a link up here somewhere for you to check it out. If you need to get in touch with me, it's at UncleFreedom213 on Facebook or Instagram, or UncleFreedom213@outlook.com. If you're on the Facebook and Instagram page, in the bio or websites portion, there is a link that will take you to my Linktree account where all of the affiliates of my channel exist. Great people like the folks over at Dry Fire Mag, Dark Angel Medical, Coltac, great views people, Gun Mag Warehouse. Head over and check those guys out. If you were going to do it anyway, any little bit you do through the link helps the channel, and I appreciate it. So, Get Home Bags, Uncomfortable Truths, Volume 2. So if you're unfamiliar with how this series works, I'm not really sure how you got to this video first, but thanks for stopping by. There's a whole bunch of these. There's 4 volumes of Uncomfortable Truths of Prepping, 2 or 3 volumes about bugging out, 2 bugging ins, and this is volume 2 of Get Home. So I'll leave a link to some of those other ones. Go check them out. We have a good time on these. There's also some really cool ones coming up, some uncomfortable truths about loadouts and Minutemen. I'll make some friends with that video for sure. There's also a Minutemen layout series coming up for you guys that really want some in-depth information about gear and what I would pick in that scenario. Check out the Bags of Preparedness, where we've gone through a lot of these. I even have one dedicated one I'll link up here for the Get Home bag. It's considerations and what you should be thinking about as you build your bag out. Lots of good information there. I've had a lot of good feedback. So here we go, Volume 2. So again, I'm going to touch something I touched in the first one, which is a Get Home bag is a singularly goal-driven system. One goal, and that is for you to get from wherever the hell you are home. That's it. One thing. It has one job to do. So there's how we're looking at this. Number 1, you are carrying too much crap. This goes to the last video. My 10th point in the last video was the bigger the bag you give yourself, the more likely you are to cram a bunch of crap in it you don't need. It happens all the time. I cannot tell you how many bug out or get home bag videos I have seen where the guy's got like bolt cutters and crap in his bag. And he's like, well, you know, just in case. In case of what? Do you find yourself needing to violate like a nuke facility at some point where you may have to shimmy yourself through a chain link fence that's electrified with your bolt cutters? Are you going to MacGyver something? No. Singular goal. Remember, we're going home. That's it. That's all we're doing. Anything we're doing that's deviating us from going home and possibly putting us at risk is dumb. We don't do that. You're carrying too much stuff. You do not need 6 different knives in your get home bag. You don't at all. You don't need, 2 different Bowie knives, a fighting knife, and then you got like 3 handguns and a 22 in case you want to go hunting. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, no. You're carrying too much crap. Number 2, I got everything, and I mean everything, in my bag. My bag is 136 liters. I'm going to get home, and I'm going to be damn comfortable while I do it. You're dumb, and there is no reason that you have that camping stool in your bag. All right, this is one of those things, like, we're carrying too much crap. Like, we might have, way too much of some things in there, but some of the just really extraneous stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, I have seen guys that carry a camping stool in their get home bag. Why are you? The ground exists. There are logs and stumps and crap all over the wood that exist for you to sit on. You do not need that camping chair. Things like that are how you handicap yourself trying to get home. You don't need stuff like that. Don't stop. Please. Just carry what you actually need to get home. This is an uncomfortable one for a lot of people that tell me how they want their stuff to be as lightweight as possible, and then they go out and they buy a 1,000 denier Cordura backpack. Okay, an extremely well-built bag in a 1,000 D Cordura is going to last you forever. It is also going to weigh like 8 pounds without anything in it. That's just the hard reality. We have to do something when we look at building out bags and selecting bags, and that is weight versus durability ratio, right? A lot of thru hikers know about this. There's some crazy stuff out there that's made out of Dyneema and some weird stuff, but it's loud and makes a bunch of noise, and it's not the most, like, subtle stuff usually. But there's a fine line. You can get down to some stuff that's, 275, 350, or 500 denier stuff, that's ripstop, that's lighter weight, water resistant, that's going to last you. 500 denier, for a long time I was against it because everything I had was 1,000 denier or 1050. I'll tell you, 500 denier is just as freaking tough. It really is. And it weighs like 3 pounds less. So you may want that really nice, high-end, super ultra cool 1,050 denier backpack, but that backpack is going to weigh like 8 or 9 pounds without you putting anything in it. Something to keep in mind. The single most important part of your get home bag, the bag, is the harness. I do not care at all how much, like, pockets you have in your bag. I could care less. But that harness system and waist belt, that's a game changer. That is how you don't hurt yourself and make yourself faster. Everything relies around the ability for you to fit that bag to your torso, and that is ultra important. Again, other video. Good stuff ain't cheap. Cheap stuff is not good. Number 5, being comfortable while you're on this trek or when you're spending the night is not nearly as important as you think. Speed and mobility are, though. This goes back right up to that carrying too much crap thing. So if you've got like an extra 20 pounds worth of comfort items, like, here's the thing, if you want to have a bag full of lickies and chewies in your bag, no problem from me on that. If you want to carry an extra spare pair of socks because that's your comfort item, good on you. I'm telling you right now, though, if you've got like 3 or 4 extra changes of clothes and you've got stuff that you sleep in versus this, and you've got like some extra weird stuff because you're trying to be super ultra comfortable when you stop and everything like that, I would rather get home sooner. And the more weight you're carrying, the less mobility you have, the more possibilities you have to get injured, longer time you're going to spend in the field, giving there be more of a chance for something to go wrong before you get home. Speed and mobility is where it is at with a get home bag. You need to carry what you need to survive, but comfort is not as big of a concern as you think it is. Or maybe it's not as big of a concern as you want it to be. Number 6. You have put too much emphasis and weight in the wrong places. Remember I said this is a balancing act, right? We're carrying all of this stuff with us, and we're trying to get from A to B, and we're trying to do this in as efficient manner as we can without getting ourselves into more trouble, putting ourselves at risk, and allowing us to move as fast as we can, all things considered. And this is an area where I see people make mistakes, a lot of mistakes. Their get home bag will have 500 rounds of ammunition loaded in magazines for their get home rifle. Totally okay with that. By all means, have a rifle in your car. And their handgun, but it's extra ammo. Like, they've got boxes of ammo, like not even in mags. I've seen this in their bag. But their version of a sleep system is an SOL emergency bivvy. How about, instead of 500 rounds of 9mm ball, for some weird reason, the last video I watched, why don't we put, I don't know, a basic sleep system with a Gore-Tex bivvy and a poncho in your bag? Probably close to the same weight penalty, but you're going to be a whole lot better off putting the weight somewhere that actually affects you. Which leads me great into point number 7, and that is tools and gadgets are nowhere near as important as a good night's sleep. I will tell you, there's an old statement, everybody's probably heard it at some point. If you don't have to run, walk. If you don't have to walk, stand. If you don't have to stand, sit down. If you don't have to stand, sit down, lie down. If you don't have to be awake, go to sleep, right? Sleep is important. You may do really well at a lot of things, but I'm telling you right now, if you are not sleeping at night because you have foregone those little things that actually made you be able to sleep at night, something as dumb as a hammock, right? Like, those little hammocks weigh like 2 pounds. If you could get a better night's sleep, be protected off the ground, away from, away from some of this other stuff, be wrapped up in your sleep system in a hammock and asleep at night, and then get up refreshed in some regards, being able to be rested and let your body recover a little bit, making it easier for you to get home. All the gadgets and gizmos in the world are not going to give you a better night's sleep. And that is one of the most important things you're going to do in this trek. So, tools and gadgets are nowhere near as important as getting a good night's sleep. And that's back to that point 6.2, which is where you've put too much emphasis and weight into the wrong places, i.e., a bunch of gadgets and crap, and you didn't bump up your sleep system. Number 8, you bought just awesome brand new, like Solomon's or Loa's or something like that, just awesome new boots, and you put them in the trunk of your car because you bought them because they were your get home boots. Those boots will wreck your life because you were too stupid to break them in before you put them in the back of your car. Sometimes there is literally no substitute for getting out and doing work, and this is one of those times. Good boots require a break-in. There are very few boots worth buying that don't require some sort of break-in. Even Merrell Moabs require some sort of break-in. Not very much, 5 to 7 miles. Maybe you wear them on the weekend while you're walking around town or something like that. That will break in those boots and the footbed to your feet, reducing your chances for blisters and everything else. But if you go full bore right out the gate with weight on your back, you're going to wreck your feet, and then you're not going to go anywhere. And you're really going to be missing your sleep system because you're sitting on the wet ground crying because your feet got blisters in your brand new $300 boots you were too dumb to break in before it went wrong. Don't put stuff that's unvetted in your kit, man. Number 9, you have absolutely underestimated how important a high candela handheld light is. I'm not talking about your headlamp. We all agree that headlamps are the king for navigating in the woods in these kinds of scenarios. Has to have a red lens though. But you've absolutely underestimated how important that a high candela handheld is to your safety. And I'll tell you why. So if you have something very basic, very simple, say like this Streamlight Micro Stream, and this is your EDC light, this is what you carry. This is about 30 lumens and like 8 candela. Like, this light does not go very far at all. And even if I shined it in your eyes, it has no ability to take away your visual horizon or to make it where you can't see. Now, on the other hand, my actual light I carry every day, this is a Cloud Defensive MCH Duty. This is an 1800 lumen light with 50,000 candela. If I hit you in the face with this and it's in the dark, you can't see crap, including me. And if I hit you in the eyes with this and then I stepped away from you, you don't know where I went either because you can't see crap. A good light that you can use in a defensive manner is amazing. Also, something else to keep in mind is that usually bad people, if they were intended to do bad things, they were kind of counting on the fact that you weren't paying attention. However, if they show up and you blast them in the face with your light, most bad guys are going to take just a minute and be like, oh, crap, right? Because here's the thing. You don't know whether or not the gun was out or anything. And here's the thing. If you shine a light at them and they have a gun, guess what? You should have a gun too. So get yours out because you already know they're bad, right? Do not underestimate how much a high candela light will do for you in a defensive encounter. It is absolutely necessary. Lots of great companies out there, lots of great stuff. I'm going to do a dedicated light video where we talk about task lights and through duty lights and stuff like that. So I love lights. Low light fighting is a passion. It's great stuff. Number 10. For some reason, you have entirely too much food in your bag and not near enough water or electrolyte replenishment stuff. Everybody makes this mistake because food is easy to get behind because we all like to eat food. It's kind of a necessity, but nobody really wants to drink water all the time. I mean, I have to force feed myself to do it. However, you will find yourself, because this is heavy compared to carrying around mountain houses or entrees out of an MRE. It's easy. I applaud you for carrying food you don't have to heat up to eat. However, if you are not carrying water, the ability to get more water, and more importantly, an electrolyte mix of some kind to keep your body regulated, you will be in trouble. I'll let you in on a little secret. So not too long ago, about a week ago, I found myself in a hospital at night because my heart was doing all kinds of weird stuff and I couldn't figure out why. Turns out my potassium level had gone just bankrupt. And it turns out that cramps are the beginning part of that, but after it kind of goes really bad into your bloodstream, your heart starts beating wrong because you don't have any potassium in your bloodstream even. So yeah, after getting bags of potassium hung on me to put me back up to level, I feel like $1,000,000 again. But that's scary, and that's a real thing, and it can happen. So electrolyte mixes, you need that stuff. It's not a want to thing. I don't care if you're only going to be walking for 3 days. You lose a ton of moisture even in the wintertime through respiration. You need that stuff. I'm telling you. Bonus point number 1, never ever underestimate how important the beanie from your 4Bs, but in addition to that, gloves and socks are. Holy crap. Having a pair of, like, an extra pair or two of wool socks, holy God, game changer, right? I should not have to tell you how important they are. But even if I pull up here, gloves. How important having insulated gloves if it's wintertime like it is now. How important it is to have a set of work gloves, leather palmed work gloves with you for navigating things wherever you're at. It cannot be understated. It is way more important than you think. And if you've got room, put another pair of socks in your bag. Just trust me. Bonus point number 2. You really need to have clear eye pro and then your standard sunglasses. Somebody out there is gonna be like, why the hell would I need clear eye pro? Because sticks suck when you get them in your eye. Wind blows and dust flies around, right? It happens, and it sucks when you get this stuff in your eyes. I can't tell you how many times I've walked through the woods and looked up and caught a stick square into the lens of like safety glasses. They are super important, and I don't even go to work. I have clear eye pro in the visor of my police truck, right? Like, it happens. At night, I have clear eye pro on. It just happens. It's way cheap insurance for something dumb to like wreck your vision and kill you. And I mean, you're gonna get got by a freaking willow tree. Just wear sunglasses. Wear freaking safety glasses. If you're not gonna wear them, at least carry them. So that way, when they find you with your glasses you didn't warn from eye trauma and you die, they're gonna be like, "Well, that idiot didn't put on his glasses." So wear glasses. Finally, bonus point number 3. You have absolutely failed to practice run this at some level in the last year. You have to practice. I'm not saying go full bore for get home situation from 40 miles away and get home. If you want to do it, by all means, be an overachiever. I applaud you. Everybody else does too. Go for it. You're going to be better off than most. Something as simple as a 3 to 5 mile movement. Everybody can stomach that. At least you better be able to stomach that if you're worried about packing up a get home bag. Have your spouse, significant other, something drop you off 5 miles away and have you work your way back. Best way to do it is, if you have the ability, make it last overnight and camp and actually see if the stuff that you brought is going to work. If it doesn't work, get rid of it. If you went on this thing and you didn't touch something in that bag and in fact forgot it existed, get rid of it. It's just a waste of space at that point. Now, I'm talking about gadgets. Now, if you didn't shoot off all your ammo during this 5 mile encounter, don't be dumb. But I'm saying, like, you might realize, like, man, I really didn't need that extra whatever whiz bang gadget was. That was pretty dumb. I didn't need that. Get rid of it. Do this multiple times. If there's something you've been out 4 or 5 times in different locations and different environments, you haven't touched it yet, it's useless. Get rid of it. Okay? Ammo, guns are the exception to the rule, but you shouldn't be carrying so much of that it's a problem anyway. The other one I'll tell you you need to go out and practice in the rain. Because the rain is the great equalizer. It sucks. It's terrible. It's an awful time for everyone involved. Everything you own is going to get heavier. Your boots are going to suck. You're going to get blisters. You're going to chafe. You're going to be cold and uncomfortable, and just you're going to hate every second of it. But I will tell you, there is no greater teacher to the deficiencies in your gear than going out and trying to do this in the rain. 100% go out and do it in the rain. So guys, that was Uncomfortable Truths Behind the Get Home Bag, Volume 2. Hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for some more stuff. Again, some more uncomfortable truths coming around the Minutemen series and being a Minuteman and gear loadouts. That one's going to be fun. But guys, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Until next time, I'll see you later.